tight hang-arounds for a big motorcycle club that was in the area. And they weren't old enough to have a patch or be patch holders, so they called them pups. And these guys had everything. 17, 18 years old. One was 16, he came around a little bit later. And these guys, one of them today is still one of my, he's like a brother to me. He, we'll call him MF. That's what they kind of called him anyway. And he became a member actually years later. And then he got out some time ago, about 3 years ago. But anyway, besides that, these guys had everything. They had the drugs, they had the women, they had the bikes. They had some nice, badass bikes for their age. 17, 18 years old, these kids had some bikes. They're helped put together by the club they were around, and but they did it themselves. They actually did it themselves. And so, if you wanted to bike back in those days, and they had everything else, I just followed their lead. We'd call it the lame walk. So what we do is we go into a bar, and these guys, 18, 19 years old, were getting in bars. I was already 25. So we'd sit there, we'd bull around with people, get to know them, and then when we found some guy that just quite didn't fit in that had a bike, we'd follow him home, we'd take his bike. That's just what we did. Be 3 or 4 or 5 of us, put it in the back of a truck, and follow the guy home. He'd park it outside, pick it up, put it in the back of a truck, and we'd go, and we'd have parts. Of course, the guys that got most of the parts at first were the club members, right? So, because that's who we paid our homage to, you know what I mean? But, man, I can remember having, 2, 3 motors, transmission with the left case was off because that's where the numbers went on the cases. And back then, it's not like today. Like, you had numbers on the cases, and you just take that part of the case off and just get another case. You had a new bike. So we'd do that. We'd have parts. I had enough for 2 or 3 bikes, front ends and frames and tanks and everything you could think of I had. You know what I mean? And just getting more dope for it. I never really put one together that whole time. I put together a Sportster one time, and it was a basket case, and I traded it for a Barracuda. I remember that. I didn't want a Sportster, but I had the whole bike, and I had people helping me, so, we'd get loaded, put it together. I think we put that thing together in about 2.5 days, just all ripped out on speed. So... And we do all kind of crap on that stuff. Oh, man, we were just, ounces of that stuff we were going through. So, anyway, we had a lot of weed, a lot of hash that we were selling. And at first, the money was there. The people were around, the money was there, everything was going good. For years it happened like that. We got into some trouble here and there. I remember one time, the club told these guys, hey, and they didn't directly talk to me all the time, just sometimes. These are the main guys, so, hey, there's this Harley Davidson shop that was in town, and they had 2 of these Quonset huts in the back. Quonset huts are like big dome, like outbuildings, and we want you to go in there and grab some, they got Harley parts in there. So, man, we must have been at it for 6, 7 hours, man. We sat there and dug underneath this bunker, right? Boom, 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 underneath it. Came up underneath it and to the floor, cut it out. It took 7 or 8 hours, right? Stick our head in there and look around, and we were in the damn Yamaha shop. It wasn't even Harley's in there. They gave us the wrong building. Anyway, stuff like that happened all the time. What could we do? We just left it like that. We weren't about to try to go into the other one because we would have been had. Another time they had us, they told us, hey, go over to this place, and gave us the address, and, go over the fence and dig around. There's parts in there we need, but, don't let nobody see you. So we're digging around this parts. All of a sudden I hear this bullet fly. And then another one. going, what the hell? These guys are fire ants. I thought we had permission. We're scattling and running all over the damn place. And get up over the fence. I feel something crease my leg. And man, you have to see blood on my trousers. So, God, man, what the hell's going on? We get down, hightail it, jumping there. We had an old Impala. Jump in that thing and take off, you know. And I looked down and when I got to the place, I pull up down my pants, and one guy's laughing, you know. He's picking out all this white stuff. And we get chopped with salt rock. You know what I mean? We asked him, what the hell, man? I think you guys said it was going to be all right. He said, oh, yeah, it was all right. You just couldn't get caught.